let's talk about find versus filter. So just to recap, if I have a function called do I have an orange, it receives a list of fruits. So if we invoke this function at the bottom, sending an array, and the first element of the array is an apple, price 1.2. You know that example, right? We've done that several times. Because you already know how to do it, you'll tell me how to complete it. So we got an orange, an apple, and a banana. So how do we find the orange in the list of fruits?
First thing, we should add it on first data.
Yeah?
Then add the argument, which is fruits.
Fruits.find.
Fruit.
Fruit. Yeah, and then what?
And then return.
Yeah. No. Fruit.price equals orange. No.
Return name.
Fruit.name, right? That's correct. Fruit.name equal orange. What will this return? What's the type of the data?
The whole object.
That's an object. That's correct. That's correct. We know that, right?
Yeah.
We know that. Because we know that already, we should also know the breakpoints, guys. I know you love these things, right? So, for example, Ashley.
Yes. So it'll be
8.
3, 4, 4.
What do you think, guys? Right or wrong?
Yes, right.
Right. Megan is happy with that, so I'm happy too. That's correct, right? So 8, and then 3, and then 4, and then 4 again, and that's it, right? So that's correct. So this is a recap of what we learned last week.
Yeah.
But now, what happened if I rename the function? I'm going to remove everything, and I'll call the function get oranges. Let me leave that. So get oranges, right? So get oranges. Why? Because in reality I could have more than one orange, right? Something like that. So now, you tell me breakpoints again. For example, Poppy.
8, 3, 4, 4, because it stops at the first orange.
What do you think, guys? Right or wrong?
Yes, correct.
Is what? Natasha? Say it again?
Yes, she's
That's
right.
That's right, yes.
Should happen first.
Correct, because find will give us as soon as one element is returned, right? So I'm not even going to run that. That's absolutely correct. It will just return the first one. But what happened if in reality we want to return all the oranges? Filter, that's correct. Literally, just replace find with filter. So now you tell me breakpoints. For example, Megan. 8, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4. 4 times 4.
I agree.
You agree, Natasha agree, everyone agree?
Yes.
Why?
Because it will run as many times as
Look for the
you have
length of
objects.
array.
That's correct, that's correct. And that's actually the main difference between find and filter. Find will stop as soon as one element matches the condition. However, filter will return all the matching conditions. Because of that, filter will clearly go until the end of the array trying to find new instances. So, what type of data will this algorithm return? An object. An object of what, Daniel?
Object name orange price 1.3.
Name, orange, price, 1.3. What do you think, guys?
And
no,
number
no.
one as well. Two objects.
It's going to
Two
be
objects.
an array of 2 objects.
So then let me ask the same question again. What type of data the function returns?
So,
An array. Yes, that's
An
correct.
array with
It
two
returns an
objects.
array of 2 objects.
yeah.
Right? And then same thing again, right? because both objects are identical.
That's it.
So if we try that, 8, then 3, 4, again 4, again 4, again 4, and that's it. And then we got our amazing array of 2 objects, right? So that makes sense. Any question?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Why would it stop? Why would it stop like for only 4 times? Then? Because
Only 3, no, not 3, 4 times.
four
Yeah,
times.
because filter
Yeah.
needs
Oh,
to
there's 4.
4 items, 4 elements in the array, correct. So filter needs to inspect the array from the beginning to the end, because it
I
would.
see.
Yeah, you see.
I see.
For, of course, if we add a 5th root, it will stop 5 times.
Even though it's not.
Even though if it's incorrect, even if it's not a matching element, but it will need to analyze it. It needs to check it, right? Correct. Cool. That's a good thing, Michael. And then, so what happens if now I'm looking for a kiwi?
Undefined.
It's going to produce.
Undefined.
It's going to produce an empty array.
Correct. So Daniel sets undefined. Mo sets an empty array. Who is right?
I think empty array.
So Mo and Natasha. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll agree with that. There's more.
Itamar. But it doesn't look good anyway. Right. Oh, so kind. So Megan is with Daniel.
Yeah, I support Daniel's.
Yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
The game is
That's
changed.
nice.
The game is
The
changed.
game has changed. Yeah. Who else?
Yeah, if you would put
Undefined.
Undefined as well. Whoa, look at that.
They changed it. The game is changed.
Undefined. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Go Daniel.
Right. So who else? Empty object rich.
Yeah, I'm with Rich and Natasha always.
Right. So that was Dave.
It's Jonah.
Oh, sorry, Jonan, mate. Sorry, mate.
No,
Yeah, cannot see your faces at the moment. Yes. Okay, Jonan. Who else? Michael, what do you think?
What it's going to return. So
Yes.
So it's going to check 3 or 4. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
What will it return? That's interesting.
We don't have any kiwi, right? So what filter returns when nothing is found?
Undefined.
Undefined. Okay, let's put it here.
I actually think it's empty array.
Okay. It's like two front, right? This is communism versus capitalism, right?
She's being
Go on.
She's woken up.
I'm interested to see what Bala and Dave think. So Bala, empty array, and Dave. I think Dave is still working somewhere. Are you there, Dave? Okay, maybe he's not there. Anyway, has anyone? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Jeff is here. Ask Jeff.
Jeff, correct. Jeff, sorry, mate. Jeff, what do you think, mate?
Just joined so much.
Just join. Jeff, can you hear me? Okay, no problem at all. Okay, let's keep you this time. Cool. So that's been interesting. That's been interesting because it's like 50-50, right? It's nice. It's good exercise. Does any of you has a very strong opinion about why you are right, and then you can convince the others until no one is on the other side of the?
My personal opinion.
So,
Why?
your personal opinion. So let me have a look. So Ashley, Aisel, sorry.
Basil.
Aisel, I misspelled your name. Aisel, you said undefined. Why?
Because we should have put comma after the bracket, square bracket, and put empty
Which square bracket? Here,
here.
right? Comma, yeah. Comma what?
If after, yeah, put like empty of
that's
or
what
something.
What?
Didn't that work?
Empty or
No, but wait, we're changing the exercise. No. I don't want to change the exercise. I just want to invoke a function called getOranges with a single argument and a list of fruits, and I want to see what that becomes. Don't change any single line of code. So Itamar, what do you think?
I'm going to say something bold because I forgot what it said exactly.
Hmm?
But I think that filter returns an array, and we're using an array right now, so it should return an empty array because we're using an array. and I think filter also returns an array, so I don't think it will be undefined. That's the reason why.
Okay, so that's Itamar point of view.
Yeah.
Is there any I mean, you heard a couple of arguments, right? Defending undefined and defending empty array. Is there?
I think it will be
Okay, so we got Rafa. It's not. Okay.
Sorry.
So, right. Rafa, change side. Anyone defending undefined? We have a strong,
I feel like it's empty array.
Yeah.
I feel like I've done the filter question before and not done it right and seen an empty array.
Yeah.
I just feel like I recognise it.
Yeah.
That's not a good
Correct.
reason.
I'm
Correct.
not sure if I heard what Itamar said correctly, but I think similar thing that filter is always like searching for something,
Yeah.
something. If it doesn't find it, just
Yeah.
pops out empty array.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll tell you. Essentially, these guys are right. Filter will always, 100% of the time, return an array. Always. If it finds something, it will return the matching element or elements. But if, like in this case, there is nothing that we can return, still it will send us back an empty array, as you can see here, right? So that's probably the main difference between find and filter. Do you remember what find returned when nothing was, retrieved, undefined? But why find returns undefined? Because with find, we don't know what we are looking for, right? With find, we may be looking for strings, we may be looking for, objects, we may be looking for booleans, we may be looking for any type of data. Because we don't know the type of data we're dealing with, find is unable to give us anything back if nothing is found. That's why find returns undefined. However, filter, it does know. Filter works with arrays. So if nothing is found, filter will return an empty array, right? It will always return an array.
So I got a question.
Yep.
Can we combine filters? So if we don't know what's inside that we're looking for,
Yep.
to filter something, can we just combine if and else? So if it doesn't find, return something else with what is not array. If it makes sense what I'm asking.
I didn't get that actually, Natasha. Can you rephrase the question, please?
Yeah, so can we rephrase, for example, if my filter doesn't find my object,
Yep.
return something else.
Okay,
Return
I
array.
see. Okay, that's a good exercise, right? So imagine that we want to retrieve the list of fruits, right? And so, for example, let's have a second argument with the fruit we want to look for. So the kiwi. How do we complete the exercise? So now we are dynamically looking for kiwis. What do we need to do here? The function, declaration.
We have to give another element.
Another argument. What's the name of the argument?
Input or whatever, check.
What?
Input, check.
Input check. Can you give me something better from a semantics point of view?
Kiwi.
Fruit? No?
What are we trying to do that?
What, Michael?
Yeah, what are we trying to do exactly? What are we trying to do?
Find fruit. Can we call it fruit name?
Yeah.
Because fruit here will be an object, right? So fruit name will clearly tell you that's the name of the fruit. And then what? That's it?
In your return statement.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's it. So there, you got to change,
Yes.
modify that.
Correct. So we need to modify this, right? So that will return what? Undefined?
This filter says empty array again.
Yes, that's correct, right? That's correct. So we do nothing, just we refactor the exercise a bit. So what happened now if we pass apple? What will this return?
Name, Apple, price.
So an
Object.
array. Yes, an array of an object.
And
Of
it's
one
an
object.
array of one object, correct? An array of one object. You see, it's always an array. It could have one element, two elements, a million elements, 0 elements, but it's always an array of elements, right? So that's the very first thing. So now, what Natasha was proposing is, what happens if we do that? And at the moment, you know that we will return an empty array. But if we want to provide a user-friendly message, how do we change the algorithm so if there are no results, we display a message like sorry, no fruits available or something like that?
You can just use the OR operator after you close that return. Of the
Yeah, here.
Yeah.
And then-
Double OR and then put your message. Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, right. I think that's true.
No, because it's not filter. It's not.
No, I think it should work.
It's going to produce an array anyway, so it's done its job.
Inside the Egyptian, the what do you call the winter function?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Arrow function.
Where? Here.
Oh.
Like
No,
that?
no. I think we need if else.
I think
Ah.
If else.
yeah.
Okay. Where do we need an if else and how do we put an if else?
If
So you have to put it on line 4. So if fruit
if
name
we
equal
have
to.
root here.
Guys, if we're gonna put an if statement, shouldn't we turn the fruits, the filter from into a variable? So should we turn that into a variable?
Okay, let's create a variable.
That first one was correct. After the closing
Yeah.
parentheses on line 5.
Yeah. Here. Then what?
Yeah, what we had before was correct.
Yeah, okay, we'll refactor.
Double operator or and then your errors.
Okay, we'll do that in a minute. Yeah, because that's I agree, that's interesting, but that's probably a bit more complicated to understand. So let's do the easiest one first. So if what?
We need to create variable.
Yeah.
Correct. Let's create a variable. Tell me, variable name.
Get fruits?
No.
Wanted fruit.
Can we call filtered fruits?
Okay.
Filter fruit or filter fruits?
Fruit.
Fruits, correct. Right? Remember, semantics are very important. So then,
If filter fruit, return filter fruit. Else, return message.
Sorry, no.
right, so
That won't work. It's if filter fruit is equal to fruit name.
right, so let's do something. I hear some voices here. So then let's add some breakpoints as usual. So we've got Daniel first. Alright. Time out. Rafa.
Yeah, yes.
Nope. Then we got.
Can I say?
Yeah, of course, Natasha. Go for it.
It will be 13, 3,
13, 3,
6, 7,
6, 7,
7, 7, 7, 9.
7, 7, 7, 9. That's wrong.
Yeah.
That's not correct. Rich.
13,
Yep.
3,
Yep.
6,
Mm-hmm.
7.
That's it.
Yeah.
Is it right or wrong, guys? What do you think?
Wrong.
Wrong. Oh.
30,
Yep.
13, 3,
13, 3,
3,
3,
3,
3, 3.
yeah, one more 3.
One more 3. Why not?
After that is going 6,
6,
7, and 9.
7, and 9.
Okay, I agree with Daniel, but apart from the last part, so everything excluding 9.
So Mo said. What do you think, Mo?
Exactly the same, but without the last option. 4 3s, yeah.
And then
6 7.
6, 7.
13,
I don't go with that.
So I think is it Jonan?
Yeah. Oh, no,
So who is that? Sorry? Bala.
yeah.
Okay, so you agree with Mo, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then Megan,
13, 3, 6,
13, 3, 6,
and 9.
and 9.
Yeah, 3, not 4.
So 13, 3, 6, and 9. Okay, I don't know to say if anybody is correct or not for the time being.
I think, sorry, again, just to try one more time. 13, 3, 6, 7, 9.
6, 7, 9. Okay, so the only thing I want to say is that Natasha is clearly wrong because of a simple reason, right? Look, so what Natasha suggested is that line number 7 and line number 9 will run. That doesn't make sense at all, right? Because there's an if else. So I don't know, well, I guess I know, but even if I don't know if it will run 7 or 9, because if it's an if else statement, it will be either one or the other, but not both, right? Is there any feedback from Jonan, for example?
Yeah, so I'm same as O and Vala. And say or is going to be Daniel, but get rid of the 7 Daniel.
Right. And we also got Jaf.
Yeah, I got 13, 3, 3, 3. Is that 4 of them?
4 now, yes.
And then 6, 9.
6, 9.
I think Megan's right.
You think Megan is right? Right. We have Dave, I believe. He's the last one, right? Dave?
Answer for you. Itamar.
Yeah, Itamar, you got too many points already. Right. So let's leave the others. Dave? No, Dave? Okay, so Itamar, now you can say your answer.
Okay. I'm gonna take like a different view on it. I think it's gonna be 13,
Yep.
6.
6. That's wrong already.
It's wrong.
Yeah, that's wrong already. Poppy?
13, 3. In fact, it would be the same one as Natasha and Megan.
And Rich is also correct because it can be either one or another one. Rich and Megan.
Rich and Megan.
Yeah, because it could be or one or another one.
Well, but this is deterministic, right? You should decide which one.
Okay, yeah, I think Megan's right.
Megan is right.
I chose it first, yeah.
Right. And then Aisel.
13, 3, 3, 3. Same as Mova.
Same as?
No, sorry. 13, 3. Then 3, 3, 3.
Yeah.
And then 9.
And then 9.
Yeah.
And Daniel agree on that. Cool. Right, so let's leave it there, guys. We've got so many options, right? Interestingly, as one of you is right. Well, not one of you, but one of the lines is correct. And because one of the lines is correct, one person will get extra points on the board challenge because the answer was brilliant, right?
7 is wrong.
Right, so, that's interesting. I believe that this is correct. It's Megan who gets the points. Yes. Why? Right. Before we prove the theory, and again, if I'm wrong, then whoever is right will get the point, right? My theory is, I think we start line number 13, we'll agree on that, right? No one said something exotic here. Then, the first big mistake is line number 3 will run just once, for sure. Because here we declare the filter mechanism. This is not going to run 4 times. Of course not. So line number 3 will run just once. That's for sure. Right? So everyone who said 3, 3, 3, 3, that's wrong, 100%. But now, the controversial thing. Filter fruits will return what? True? No, wrong. Empty array, that's correct. That's correct. That's correct. That's an empty array. Because of that, now that's a tricky part. So it will run 13, then it will run 3 once, then it will run 6. And now the question is 7 or 9? Or let me rephrase that. Is an empty array evaluated as truthy or falsy in JavaScript? Truthy.
Yeah.
Truthy.
Unless it's got there.
But then because we have the pineapple in a test, it
Yep.
will actually skip the 7
Yep.
and show 9.
Right. So yeah, actually, you are right. So I thought I wrote that on the other way around. So I don't think even Megan is right actually, because an empty array will be evaluated as truthy, right? Even if it's an empty array, because that's truthy, it will run 6 and 7.
I'll agree with yourself.
Not 9.
Yeah.
So I got confused on that. Sorry, I didn't read that correctly. So did anyone say the correct answer?
It's rich.
Is it rich?
Is it Rich? That's correct, Rich. That's correct. So if the theory is correct, Rich will get the points on the challenge. Right? Let's prove the theory and then we'll see, because the thing is, I was thinking what that should return, but that's not what it should return. So that should return something unexpected. Let's try that. 13, correct. Then 3, correct. Then look, filter fruits is an empty array. But now, an empty array, that's the thing, right? So Rich was correct. An empty array is truthy. Because of that, that will return an empty array unexpectedly. Because that's not what we want. That's not what we want. What happens if we change the algorithm and we put an orange here?
It's the same thing.
It will return the same thing. It will return an array of how many elements?
Array of one element.
One?
One object.
Why 1?
Orange.
How many oranges do we have?
2 oranges.
2 oranges. So
there's
that
2.
will return an array of 2 elements. I'll show you. Correct. So in reality, what that means is that line number 9 is never reached. It never ever runs that line, which is wrong. Do we agree on that? That's wrong? Because if we have a kiwi, we want to display a message. So then my obvious next question is, what do we need to do in order to display a friendly message when we have no fruits?
Filtered fruits on line 6.
Yep.
If filtered fruits equals empty array.
Like that.
Yeah, but then put the exclamation mark in equal.
Like that.
That was the opposite.
So if we don't have an empty array, that means we have something, you want to display the list of fruits, right? So still doesn't work.
You can check the length of the array.
Right, we cannot, I understand that, Jonah. I understand that that's the first thing we should think about, right? If we compare strings, we can easily compare strings. But arrays are a bit special. Arrays are literally referenced in the memory of our systems. So we cannot compare arrays like that, right? That's not valid. Any other idea how can we check if we have any fruit or not?
Well, any fruit or specific fruit?
No, any. Because if we don't have any fruit, I want to display that message.
Yeah.
Say it again?
Dot length.
Dot length. I like that. I like that. Who said that?
Me, Rich.
Rich. Rich is on fire today. Right? And he's absolutely right. That's the correct way to check whether an array has any element or not. What happens if we don't have any element? What's the length of an empty array?
0.
No, it's not undefined.
0.
It's 0. It's 0, of course. If an array doesn't have any element, it will return its length will be 0. Is 0 evaluated as truthy or falsy?
Falsy.
Falsy. No, it's not truthy. 0 is falsy. Right? Because of that, what you will see in a minute is that it will, you see, now fruits.length is 0 and 0 is falsy. Because it's falsy, the flow will move to the else statement. So now that should display hello, sorry, go to Tesco, right? That's the sexiest way to solve this kind of issues. And of course, if we have an orange, right? So now you tell me, so what's now the size of the length of the array?
It's 2.
It's 2. Is 2 truthy or falsy?
Truthy.
True. Falsy. Why falsy?
Sorry.
It's truthy, of course, right? Any number apart from 0 is truthy. Because it's truthy, it will run the line number 7 if statement, right? And then, right? That works. Any question? Yes? Before the end of the workshop, I would like to go back to something that Jaff mentioned at the beginning of the session. So he tried to simplify this if-else statement. So first of all, can we use a ternary operator to return?
Of course.
How?
Return.
Return. Yeah. Then what? Correct. Else?
Sorry. No, it's this one.
Right. Will this work?
Yes.
It should. Yes, it works. Correct. That works. That's perfect. But now, because we've done that several times, we can figure out that this maybe, or maybe not. I don't know. So Jeff suggested to do that.
Yeah, that won't work.
It won't work. It has to be the same.
That won't work. So okay, what do we need to change?
We have to return it. It can't be a variable. Yeah, we have to return it.
Return. Okay. Will this work?
But where is that?
Yeah, but it's not gonna be work if you don't have any fruit.
That's correct. So that's the same problem we had before. If we do have a fruit, it will work fine, right? But if we don't have any fruit, that won't work because of the same reason.
Empty array.
Because that will be evaluated, correct, Mo is right, that will be an empty array is truthy, so truthy or something, that will be immediately returned.
I have a question.
Yep.
If we did ES6 and we put dog length at the end of it, would it work then?
Okay, good question. So, that's a good point. Listen, let's do something. If I put a kiwi, will it work, yes or no?
Still no.
Why not?
It'll work because it'll be truthy, one length.
Correct, that will work, that will actually work, because, yeah, correct, but in that case we have a kiwi, so we don't have any kiwi, so that highlighted text will return an empty object, sorry, an empty array. The length of an empty array is what? 0. 0 is falsy, so then falsy or something else, that will be returned. We'll do, say it again?
Sorry, beside the point, because you're returning the wrong thing now.
Okay, no, I never said that was fully correct. We're just dealing with different scenarios, right? We'll do a particular workshop to deal with or and operators, right? But for now, that will probably work. Correct. If we don't have the fruit, that works.
I'm going to say that's not right, sir.
Well, I'm not done yet. So that particular scenario, that's correct. However, if we put an RX, that won't work as expected. What will now the function return? 2. Itamar is correct. Because now we are returning 2 or something else. Because 2 is truthy, it will be returned immediately. You see? So it's not, you see, so I like the idea. The idea was good, but unfortunately, it's not that simple. So we may need to use a ternary operator or something weird here. I don't think this approach will ever work, right? So we cannot do that. We cannot. That works fine with find, because with find, if you remember, if it doesn't find the fruit, it will return undefined. So that will be okay, right? So what will this return now? With find.
Just one orange.
Yes, correct. Yes, one object. Right? And if we have kiwi, what will this return?
Undefined.
Undefined? Wrong.
Correct.
Correct. Not undefined. Of course not. It will return the message, right? Right? So in other words, even though we'll do a workshop about that. So if I have true, I'm typing now at the bottom, or false, it's spoiling the result. Let me get rid of that. So if I have true or false, what will this return? True. Correct. And what if I have false or true?
False.
True. And what if I have false or false? Why true? Right?
Because it's true, it's false.
So look, here this is an expression in JavaScript, right?
Yeah.
So if I have false or false, if I have 0 coins here or 0 coins there, how many coins do I have? Right? 0. That's falsy. That's falsy. However, if I have 0 coins on my left pocket but 2 coins on my right pocket, I have 2, right? That's why false or true is true. If something is false or is true, it will be true, right? This is Boolean algebra, essentially, right? And if we have true or true,
True.
yes, that returns true, right? And what about and? What do we have? True and true. True. And what if we have true and false?
False.
Correct. Correct. True and false is false. And what if we have false and true?
False.
False. Correct. And what if we have false and false?
Natasha, right? True.
Yes. Correct. That's correct. So this is about booleans, but in reality we can put whatever we want here, right? So we can put here more and false. So what's more and false returning?
False.
With the AND operator, both expressions should be truthy. Is the first expression truthy?
By definition, yeah.
False. Yes. Most
Yes.
certainly.
Yes. More is
False
truthy.
is false.
Correct. False. Yes. When that happens, when you have the AND operator, again, we'll do a particular workshop about that, right? But just to give you some idea about how this works. In JavaScript, when you have the AND operator, it will check each expression, and if it's truthy, it will check the next one. Is more truthy? Yes. It's truthy. So then check the next one. Is false truthy? No. Then return it. So that will return false. So if I put more and 0, what will that return?
False.
False or 0?
False. False. False.
Again, remember, is more truthy? Yes. Check the next expression. Is 0 truthy? No. Then return it. No. 0. Yeah. That's how it works. So, anyway, if I change the algorithm, if I change the order, if I put 0 and more. Yes, of course. Is 0 truthy? No. Return it. Right? And what if I put 1 and more? More. Will return true or more? True. Wrong. Again.
Oh, because one first.
With the AND operator, the first expression. Is it truthy or falsy? Truthy. No problem at all. Go to the next one. Is it truthy or falsy? Is there anything else on the right?
No.
Then return the last one.
Oh.
Right? And what if I put that?
Daniel.
Yeah, you see? Is the one truthy?
Yes.
Is more truthy?
Yes.
Is Daniel truthy?
Yes.
Is anything on the right? No. Return the last statement. Daniel. And what if we have that?
False.
It will return false.
It will return false. Is one truthy?
Yes.
More?
Yes.
Daniel?
Yes.
False?
False.
False. False is falsy, right? It will stop here. It will return it, right? And what if we put a 0 here?
Return 0.
Yeah. False or 0? Why false, I said?
False, because its last statement is false.
Zero first.
It is 0 because that's the first element that doesn't follow the sequence, right? Is one truthy? Yes. Is more truthy?
Yes.
Is 0 truthy? No. Return 0. That's it, right? Easy. That thing on the right hand side won't even be evaluated. You can put something dirty or illegal here. That won't run at all. Right? The police won't try to find us, right? Because the 0 will be returned, right?
So if it's truthy, it returns last statement.
If
and
it's-
if it's false,
yeah.
it returns first statement.
No.
First false.
First false, correct. With the AND operator, it will delegate to the next one until either one element is falsy, in which case it will return it, or either everything is truthy. If everything is truthy, it will return the last one. That's correct.
But if it's false,
What are the languages in different color?
Say it again.
It's a bit different in that respect to other languages, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, yeah, it's kind of different, right? It's kind of different because we have the double and we have some languages support simple and not JavaScript, right? So yeah, there are different ways to tackle that, but yeah, you're right. In JavaScript, that's how it works. And actually, what happens if we change and that's the last thing for today, for this morning. So and with or. So for example, if I have Poppy and or Megan, what will this return?
Poppy.
Poppy. Why Poppy?
It's first.
Correct. Correct. With the or operator, it's on the other way around. As soon as one expression is truthy, it will return it.
Stop.
Is Poppy exactly? Is Poppy truthy?
Yes.
Then return it. Megan won't be even evaluated.
Yeah.
That's it, right? And if we take the order, Megan, right? Same thing. Is Megan truthy? Yes. Then return it, right? And what happens if we have an empty array? Empty array or Poppy?
Empty array.
Empty array. That's correct. Because empty array is truthy. And what if we have empty array dot length?
Falsy. Hit Poppy command.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Because even though empty array is truthy, empty array dot length returns 0. Is 0 truthy or falsy? Falsy, correct. So then it will go to the next one, right? And what if we have that?
I think it always returns truthy statement.
No, return that.
So what will this return?
Poppy.
Poppy, yes, that's the same thing. What's
Empty space.
empty space? So
No,
Jonah,
Poppy.
So-
Because it does that, okay, it splits the next true one.
This one is false, is going
so the question that Jonah is.
This is not empty space.
It's empty string, truthy or falsy?
That's not empty space. If you put a space in there,
Yeah.
There is no space.
Yeah.
That's empty string. Truthy or falsy?
falsy.
I think it's truthy.
Falsy.
It's truthy or falsy?
Falsy. Falsy.
It should be truthy, really.
It should be truthy.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think you are right, unfortunately. Empty string is falsy.
Truthy if it's empty in a string.
Empty string. No.
But then Mo was correct. If we put
Yes.
a space,
That's gonna work now. Yeah.
what will this return?
Empty space.
Empty space, that's correct, right? So again, 0, falsy, no problem. Next one. False, falsy, no problem. Next one. 0, falsy, no problem. Next one.
Truthy.
Space, truthy, return it.
So
Right?
it returns first truthy statement.
Correct.
No matter what it
Correct. The or expression returns the first truthy statement. That's why, if you remember, you remember the exercise that we got late available day?
Yes.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we've done like 100 times already probably, right? So you remember that exercise, right? We return available day or sorry, no available days, right? Why that work? Why that work? Because if available day is truthy and this or operator, it will be returned automatically, right? If it's falsy, then yeah.
Right. Okay.
We get it.
Explain
Yep.
logic in an empty array.
Yep.
Truthy and an empty string an empty array being truthy and an empty string being.
Yeah, this is how the JavaScript standard works, I'm afraid. Yeah. So an empty string, falsy. An empty array, truthy. An empty object,
Truthy.
truthy, correct. 0, falsy.
Is it because of the way they're allocated memory on?
Yes, that's correct. Because objects and arrays are special in JavaScript. They are reference to memory indexes, right? So they are special, but that's fine. You don't need to understand that. Just remember that an empty array is truthy and an empty object is truthy. So one more question. Sorry, say it again. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Is it fair to say then that beyond three, you're
Yep.
saying an array exists, it might be empty, but an array does exist,
Yep.
like object exists,
Mm-hmm.
2, nothing exists.
Well, kind of. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, not against that, Jonan. Yeah. Let me do something, guys. So we know how to check, because we know that if we have an empty array, we know how to determine whether there is something on it, right? So let's do that. Return true, else return false, right?
It's return true.
So will this return true or false?
It will return
True.
True.
true, yeah.
That's correct. That's what we've learned, right? An empty array is truthy. But let me do something. So how do we return false? If we want to return false here, what do we need to do?
Array.length.
Array.length, right? That's what we learned. Let's just recap a bit, right? Correct. False. Fine. Fair enough. But then, what happened if we have an object? What will this return? Let me rename that. True or false?
True.
Correct. But what if we want to return false? How do we change the condition?
Is it again dot length?
No.
No, we don't have length.
We don't have length on objects.
Yeah.
If we try that, right, that doesn't make sense. Don't do that, right?
Something like a dot key.
Dot key.
Good one. Yeah.
Dot key.
Yeah.
Like that. Okay. So will this return true or false? False. Fine. And what if I have here that? Will this return true or false?
True.
You are wrong. False. Why? Do we have? Look, let's have a breakpoint. Object. Name Daniel. That's the object, right?
Yeah.
What happens if I type object.key? It's defined. We don't have any property called key here. So that returns undefined, and undefined is truthy or falsy? Falsy, of course, undefined is falsy. That's why that becomes false, right? So that doesn't work. I want this to return true.
Okay.
After key, you have to put the square bracket.
After key, you have to put square bracket.
And one.
Object name will work, but because we know the details of the object. But what if we don't want to access the details? We just want to know if there is something on the object or not.
Dot key.
Dot key, like
No,
that.
dot key and square bracket.
Is it
Dot
capital
key.
object, dot object, in parentheses,
Object keys. Object dot keys.
Correct.
capital keys dot.
Correct.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Object dot keys.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Remember that the most powerful data structure in JavaScript are the arrays. Because of that, at the end, everything, the way to solve complex problems is to turn the data into an array. So, do you remember how to capture the keys of an object? We learned that yesterday.
Square bracket.
We got object.keys,
Yeah, and,
And then-
parentheses of the actual object itself.
object.
Yeah.
So, will this work, yes or no? What will this return?
Keys. Truthy.
Truthy.
Yeah.
But, what will this return?
Falsy.
You are wrong again, guys. Why? Because of the same problem. You fail again on the same mistake. What's object.keys returning now? What?
The actual object itself.
No? So, that's correct. Jeff is correct. That returns an empty array. Is an empty array truthy or falsy?
Truthy.
Truthy. So that doesn't work. What do we need to change?
Is it two dot values?
Dot,
No.
Keys, object, dot length.
dot length here, like that.
Yeah.
That's correct. That's the way to solve it. So now we get the keys of the object, right? You see, if there is any key, that will return 1, 2, 3, 20, whatever, which is truthy. If there are no keys at all, that will return an empty array.
Why is that? So inside the object is an array.
No, because object.keys will return an array, always an array, with the number of keys.
I can understand why array, because you're working with the.
Because that's how object.keys works. So you have a variable called user.
Oh, so it's the function does an array, it returns an array.
Yeah, of course,
Okay.
of course. So if I have a user, and then I do object.keys user, look, It returns an array with the keys.
Right, okay.
Right? But if instead of that I pass an empty array, it returns an empty array. And object.keys always returns an array. If there is any key on the object, name, it will return it. If there are no keys at all, empty array. Right? So that's why this example will work, should work at least, right? Because object.keys object will return what? An array of how many elements?
Yeah.
Empty array.
Empty array.
Yes, that's an empty array. What's the length of an empty array?
Zero.
0. Is 0 truthy or falsy? Falsy, correct. So that will return false. And again, finally, if we put that, what's now object.keys object? What will this return?
Empty people. Array people.
An array of how many elements?
1.
1. So what's the length of the array?
1.
1. Is 1 truthy or falsy? Truthy, correct. So that will return true, right? So that's the way we check if there is something or not in an object, right? Any questions? I know that was a bit beyond the scope of find versus filter, right? But I still think it's relevant. So, any questions, guys? Jonah, Jeff, Vala, Rich, Natasha?
Just one question
Yep.
regarding that. You know when you've got that object,
Yep.
the previous thing you had,
Yep.
if you put the rest operator in front of the object,
Whoa. The rest of the rest operator in front of what? Here?
in front of name Peter, sorry, in front of
Here.
object Peter. No, in front of the
Here.
bracket. Yeah.
Oh.
Does that?
No.
So the result that is the actual array, not the actual object itself.
No, doesn't make sense. Look, Chrome is complaining, right? So the rest operator, no, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all.
You can do the same if you change instead of keys values.
Okay, good question. That's a good question.
Values is working with the array.
It's the same thing, isn't it?
Will it make any difference if instead of keys we put values?
Values is key is working with
It's
object,
the same
but
type.
values is working with array.
Yeah, that would be correct, because it's better for you to have an object that has keys in it, but they're empty strings, let's say.
What if it has a
That's interesting. So look, in that particular case, so what Jav mentioned is interesting. So what will the highlighted text return?
It's true.
A string.
Yeah, I mean, it's got length. So
Will this return a string? Are you sure?
No, it's length.
It's an array of how many elements?
One.
One, that's correct. So is one truthy or falsy? Truthy, so that will work. And what if we empty the object again? So what's object values object returning? An array. How many elements?
0.
0. Is 0 truthy or falsy? Falsy, that's correct. So are these one equivalent or not? Can we use keys and values?
Equivalent.
They are equivalent. They are, of course.
What
You
if
can,
it has like a null?
has nil like that? Oh. That's interesting. I'll tell you. So in that particular case, values is still an array of one element.
Yeah.
Even if the only element is nil, but what's the length of the array?
1. But if you remove the dot length, that'd be falsy.
Okay, if we
Yeah.
remove the dot length,
Yeah.
wrong.
Oh. Is that truthy? No.
Of course, because that's an array. What an empty array is, truthy or falsy?
Okay. That overrides it. But null by itself is falsy though, right?
Nil is falsy. That's
Yes,
correct.
that's right.
But that we are not comparing against nil. We're comparing
talking
against
array.
an array.
Yeah,
So
okay.
arrays are always truthy, guys. Objects are always truthy. If you want to deal with a falsy scenario, you need to do tricks. If it's an array, dot length. If it's an object, object.keys, object. Or object.values, object. Right? But never try to do never ever try to do that assuming that this will return falsy, or of course never ever try to do that. That doesn't make sense in JavaScript, right? That doesn't make sense, right? Or obviously if it's an array, that doesn't make sense neither. Right? So when we deal with arrays and objects, they're a bit special, so we need to handle them differently. Right? Cool. Any question, guys? Jonan, Richard, Ashley, Natasha.
Sorry that we skipped over the frames finally
Yeah.
discussion, but I'm glad that we all were involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, as usual, my suggestion now is watch the video, go to DevTools and play with example. What happened if I put false or true? What happened if I put true or true? What happened if I put true and true, right?
Yeah.
Play with values.
Exercise.
Yeah, I think it's a good exercise for your brain, right? To get used to these kind of things. Cool, so I think that's pretty much it, guys. See you again at 2 p.m. where we'll be talking about CSS Flex. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching.